Alright. Make sure everything else is arranged properly here. Think so. So we finished off one route last time. Somehow managed to get the bad end, although with my experience with visual novels, that's actually not super surprising. So we'll try a different route today. I guess the plan is to be more committive? To someone? Whoever we end up picking. Probably Umbrella Girl, since that was kind of the original plan. It didn't work out that way. Didn't realize it was so easy to balance everything so well. Usually you can't do that in these kinds of games. Now there is, I believe, an option for... didn't this game have a thing for making sure we skip already viewed messages? I thought this had it, or am I thinking of a different game? Could have sworn I saw that in here, or maybe I just assumed it was in here. May have just assumed it was in here, or it's already a thing. I'm not sure how this works. I think we just have to start a new game? I think this has persistent data. We're gonna find out. If not, I can always just data load from like the first choice or whatever. That way we at least skip the intro. But we will see how this is supposed to work. Let's see what, let's play around a little bit with the options here and see what happens. There's no like control screen that I don't know about, right? Autoplay, message skip. That message, does that skip everything we've seen, I wonder? That's what we need to find out. Because I don't know if... oh, we can't actually go in options here. Okay. Give it a second. We might get more options inside the game than we would outside. All of this should be the same. This ain't fucking Zero Escape or anything like that. I don't think. Okay, let's see what we got here for options. Is there anything different? I thought I saw something like that. Am I crazy? What does rear mean in volume? That's a weird option. Message display speed, message display transparency, autoplay. We could probably, hopefully, crank that up. I'm not going to regret anything, am I? Alright, well, we'll at least do that, and if we click this, that'll help. I don't think... I have a feeling that we will have to keep track of things manually, which is fine. It just means I'll have to do a better job. Or we'll have to speed run this for the time being. It's okay though. I mean, if I have to bring up a guide, I will. But I want to see how much of this I can do without a guide. Yeah, this all looks the same. I mean, some visual novels have this feature, some don't. Usually the really nice ones have the feature. Are we gonna have to play again? Probably. I wonder if we can skip it, or should we actually play it? You know what? Nah. We'll play it. We'll play it. I need to make sure my skills are still up to snuff. You know, it took me forever last time, but we're gonna do it this time. We're gonna, like, fucking 100% this shit. Full combo. All perfects. Totally. I don't even remember how we met Umbrella Girl. What caused that? I think we went to the lounge or whatever. I think that's where we went. I'll just have to make sure we go there as soon as possible, or as much as possible. Just realized this is like the inverse of the other song. Look at that perfect score. See, like I said, oh, we're not done yet. Almost done. There we go. There's that perfect score. I bet you don't even get anything for that. Imagine if the final route was locked behind getting perfects on all the songs. I would hate that. Alright, this all looks like the same. We could probably skip it too. I think we're good up until the first choice, which should be very soon here. So we're gonna ditch her as soon as possible. What were we even explaining? Like, is there a log? Message log, thank you. I don't even remember what we were explaining. That's what I get for skipping, I guess. Okay. No, we'll explain it very carefully. I don't remember what we picked last time. Maybe I should start writing these options down. Pretty sure we explained it very carefully. Yeah, no, we definitely explained it very carefully last time. Yeah, so we have to find a partner. I'm gonna start slowing it down here because I have a feeling we're gonna get another option very soon. So I still don't know what this means. I think this is just like how long we have until the exam. But I've seen it go up and down, so I'm not sure what it means exactly. I don't even know if that option even matters, to be honest. I don't think it matters for our purposes at the moment anyways. Yeah, I remember this part. We can probably skip to the next option, or at least the end of the day. Here we go. Did we ask her? I don't fucking remember if we did or not. Man, I should start writing these down, honestly. You know what? We're gonna do that. Coding overloaded. Fuck you. How am I getting encoded overloaded on a visual novel OBS? We're gonna write these down though. I'm gonna make, let me open a notepad. We're gonna actually have to start taking notes on a fucking visual novel. I mean, that's what I used to do with Choose Your Own Adventure books. I used to have like a whole bunch of them, and I would always put check marks beside the options I already took. I have fucking pages and pages of notes. I had sticky notes showing me where to go next. Fucking made maps and shit for those things. So we're gonna do that here. So okay. So this route we're taking. And then we're gonna pick, I don't remember what we picked last time. We don't want to train with her. I think, did we want to train with her? Or what were we asking her? I don't remember what we were asking her. I feel like we picked ask her. Yeah, we did. Okay. So not today. We don't need her to show us around. We know what happens when we ask her to show us around. Nothing happened. So we're gonna go there, not today. I wish something like Visio was easy to use, because I would totally make a flowchart out of this shit. Maybe not today. Yeah, this is new dialogue. That means you don't plan to do anything. Not necessarily, but I don't want to put it all on you from the start, Torta. Oh, how commendable of you. Sure, I've had a lot of people talking to me about it lately. I assume that Ari was talking about it was effective? That's right. I wish you wouldn't write about me in your letters to her, though. I wouldn't write to my sister about it if it wasn't important. Your graduation is on the line. Any objections? None. Good. So what's this about not starting today? Yeah, I'm sure I'll ask you soon. You can ask anytime. Just ask me to lunch. Got it. You know, like we normally do anyways, and usually don't have to ask her. Alright, I think I'll go after I eat this. Must have talked a while, as there were far fewer people in the cafeteria. Having noticed this, Torta hurriedly stuffed her remaining sandwich in her mouth and spoke with her mouth full. What time is it? After 1:20, I think. Thanks. See you tomorrow then. Yeah, see ya. Lunch break ended at 1:30, so I still had time. It was common for the practice rooms to be filled up after lunch on Mondays. It seemed that everyone believed that famous saying by some unknown music professor, neglect your instrument for 1 day, lose 3 days of skill. Of course, there was no school on weekends, but hardly any students spent their 2 days off without practicing. That's how serious everyone was about music, but unfortunately, that had nothing to do with me. So, serious students spent their Saturdays and Sundays with no classes working away in the practice rooms from the morning on. It was common for the practice rooms to be filled up. Students like Torta and myself who could practice at home were better off. You couldn't sing at the top of your lungs, but it was considered part of the city's character and generally accepted. And there were certain instruments that could be muted, but nothing could be done in that regard for the piano, which featured the largest number of students, or for string instruments, which meant that students who couldn't practice at home or at school would flock to the practice rooms. Even Torta spent her days off practicing, unlike me. I was always in awe of the effort she put into practice. However, the fact that I couldn't learn from her example, maybe that was a difference in personality. Phew. Gave a light sigh and considered my options again. There was only so much I could do, so I didn't have that many choices. I didn't know any voice students, so looking around the practice rooms was no use. If I was going to go somewhere, I should go to the Chenkoloa, a free space set aside for the students. Good. I mean, we can get an early start with her. Maybe that'll improve our chances. I thought talking with my friend Asino might also be an idea. Or I could just walk around the school aimlessly. So what to do? Okay, we're going straight there. That is exactly where we're going. That's down here, right? No, that's classrooms. Okay, so this is how we also probably get to the old wing earlier, which would let us get that other girl. We'll worry about that next time. We want to go here. The Chinacolo. I think. I think that's where we're going to go. So the last time I promised my server if my power went out and wasn't there, but finally hit me. Wait, how does a VPN help with your power going out? Wouldn't that, like, shut off your server entirely? Or are you going to offload your server to someone else? I stopped for a bit in front of the Chinacolo, which served as a lounge for the students. I almost never came here and honestly had no good memories of it. But I told myself that it was just a place I could use at a time like this, and open the door decisively. Oh, it's when it turns back on? Oh, does it not, like, let you connect properly? Several students who were performing inside stopped their playing and looked at me. Maybe they thought I was someone they knew? Most everyone that came here this early in the morning were probably serious students in private lessons in the morning like myself. I, however, did not set up morning lessons because I was a serious student. Morning. I nodded to them in greeting. I'd seen one of them before somewhere, most likely a Fortel student. I realized again how little connection I had with other students, and looked around the room for a while. With the VPN I can manage all my stuff as if I'm there. Oh, I see. Because you can't connect to your home network otherwise? Wait, what would be, like, preventing you from remoting into your server otherwise, then? because it's not like connected to the internet, but then how does a VPN help? Because I've always been able to remote into like home network stuff. I don't use it often, but it's possible. I must have realized it'd be useless to try and talk to me. That being the case, I should have taken the initiative and said something. I knew that, but for some reason I didn't want to. Oh, I see. Yeah, you'd have to forward all those posts. That makes sense then. Just as their judgment was correct, my intuition about it was also probably right. The number of people steadily increased, the ones playing and the ones conversing gradually splitting into two groups. Then there was me, doing neither, standing there like a wallflower. I asked myself why I was here, and remembered I had come to look for a partner. Having to pretend I had somewhere to go in front of Torta was basically the only reason I came here. Faced with the fact of how much of an outsider I was and having already lost the will to look, I started thinking this was a waste of time, but then I met the gaze of a female student across from me. Are you, waiting for someone? She came over looking slightly hesitant and asked in a shy voice. No, I'm not. I was flustered by this sudden interaction, but managed to answer. I kind of liked her modest way of speaking. Oh, I see. Then why are you here? She got that far, and then stopped as if interrupted. Actually, I was just about to leave. I thought it might be good to talk to her a bit more, but I also really did not want to stay much longer. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I mean, the dynamic IP would definitely affect that. No, that makes sense then. I could see how a VPN would be helpful in that situation. Seeing this, I went outside. Alright, our plan has finally been put into motion. That was actually a lot faster than I thought it'd be to get down here. I guess it's because we didn't waste that day looking around doing nothing because Torta's useless. No wonder she's the bad end. Rain was a little stronger than normal that day. That's why I wasn't in a very good mood. It was just normal in the morning. When did it get so strong? It wasn't the usual light drizzle, but rather big drops of water visible to the naked eye. Maybe I'll wait a little bit longer. I stood in the entryway, just out of reach of the rain, and gazed into space. As I stood there thinking about what to do, my field of view suddenly darkened. Would you like to share? Huh? At some point, I had moved slightly into the rain. My bangs were wet, so were my shoulders. And there was an umbrella over my head, out of the blue, which made me aware of just how wet I was. I noticed for the first time that I was standing in the rain when it stopped hitting me. At loss for words, I just gazed in silence at the umbrella. Of course, they sold umbrellas at the general store, though I rarely saw people using them. But since coming here, this may have been my first time actually standing under an umbrella. Realizing that of course someone had to be holding the umbrella, I turned my head to look. For a moment I thought it might have been Torta, but soon learned I was wrong. You are... I haven't introduced myself, have I? My name is Falsita. Falsita Fawcett. She smiled at me with the umbrella held out at an angle, then tilted her head, still smiling. Is something wrong? No. Shall we talk as we walk? Okay. I still didn't know why I was under the umbrella of someone I didn't know, or why I was walking with her. The sound of rain hitting the umbrella was different than on the pavement. It was surprisingly soft. I introduced myself as we walked, and we were silent for a long time afterward. Is something wrong? No. I was holding the umbrella so her hands were free. I didn't have any ulterior motives or expectations. I knew I wasn't that kind of person. I just didn't want someone to have to hold an umbrella for me as I walked. Did I come on a little too strong? She said this slightly bemusedly and slowly slowed her pace. Before she stopped walking altogether, I made sure to continue talking in the hope that this would keep her going. No, not at all. It's just rare for me to be under an umbrella. Really? I guess you're right, though. Most people in this city don't use umbrellas. Yeah, but thanks. Oh, you don't have to thank me. But why were you there? Were you waiting for someone at the Chinacolo? Well... After showing some reluctance, she continued. You looked a little uncomfortable. Me? Yeah, so I went out thinking you were sick, and saw you looking up at the rain. Is that right? I gripped the umbrella tighter and continued. Thank you. Of course. She passed off my gratitude with a little nod. But is that really all? Have I met you somewhere before? I brought up the subject to try and cover up my slight embarrassment. And it was true that I'd felt that way a little since hearing her name. Nevertheless, her mild-mannered and refined features left an impression, and I probably wouldn't have forgotten her if I'd actually met her in class. I was at least sure that I hadn't met her in Foretell class, and I couldn't think of any situations where I might have run into her. No, I must be mistaken. She just listened with a smile as I added this entirely like an excuse. Then she smiled modestly. We may have met somewhere. May have. I'm not sure, though. That means... You've been probably attending school functions. There's a good chance we've met before. School functions? I don't really go to all the time. I never go if I'm not required to. Really? Still, we may have seen each other. I was class president up until last spring. Really? Oh, I think I'm starting to remember. I thought I had met her at some kind of function and said a greeting, because I wasn't really paying attention to the conversation. All I remembered was that someone was talking. Sorry. Why are you sorry? Because I'm not a serious student. Don't worry about it. She said this with an elegant demeanor, as she had done several times already. It sounded so natural, like she really meant it. If you said she was suited to be the class president of a school attended by many children of aristocrats in the upper class, you'd be right. Thanks. We had just arrived at the boundary between the main street and the old district. Oh, my place is in the old district. I just walked here without thinking. Oh, right. Is something wrong? No, I was just thinking that your place might not be in the old district, Miss Falsita. It's no problem. I live here too. Oh, I see. She had an air about her that didn't suit the old district and its cheap apartments. Something wrong? No, it's nothing. That wasn't something to ask someone I just met. I decided to leave it alone. I see. Also, you don't have to be so formal. Call me Fal. All my friends call me that. Miss Fal? I didn't really think the two of us would become close, but she asked me, so I couldn't refuse. Even so, I couldn't just use her nickname. I clumsily stuck Miss on the front. Since our way home was the same, I continued walking under her umbrella. So, Chris, you're a Foretell student. We were students at the same school, so the conversation naturally went this way. Amazing. So you have the ability? No, not so much. It was just a coincidence. Nothing amazing. Do you really think so? I really do. That's pretty rare. She said that, sounding like it was neither good nor bad. That reminds me. You're a third-year student, right, Chris? Yeah, I am. How'd you know that? You performed at the concert hall a little while ago, right? At the summer concert. There are 3 seasonal concerts a year at the school. So many students performed, I'm pretty sure there's no way to see all the performances. Which meant, are you perchance a Foretell student, Miss Fal? If that was the case, it would have been a very rude thing to ask. There was no way I shouldn't remember her. No, I'm a voice student. But I watched all the Foretell performances. Did you have to watch them all? No, I didn't. But I enjoyed them. I always just leave when my part's over. That's what I thought. She smiled in agreement, as if she had begun to understand me a little. I didn't find that unpleasant. But you're a voice student. The idea I suddenly had then didn't seem very realistic. She seemed popular, and I was sure she already had a partner. Oh, I wanted to ask you, do you already have a partner, Chris? Just as I was giving up on asking her, she suddenly asked me. Huh? No, not yet. That's good. I actually don't have a partner yet. Would you like to play together sometime? I know you can't decide right away, so I was thinking it would be good if we could perform together sometime. I felt like she had planned this a little too well, but I couldn't see a reason to refuse. You could see if our music and personalities matched or not. But, are you sure? Am I sure? I'm the one asking you. If we're just trying out for now, I should be asking you. I don't have a partner yet and was in the middle of looking for one. Just as I thought. You were at the Chinacolo, so I figured that was it. As she said this, it was time for us to part ways. I'm this way. Ah, I'm that way. She said this with a slight look of disappointment. Oh, but let me walk you to your door. I'd feel bad if I brought you this far just to let you get wet now. No, it's close, I'm fine. Really? Yes. About what you're saying. When should we meet? I'm busy this week, so from next week would be better. Anytime next week? No, sorry. Just Tuesday and Thursday. Then, I'm free on Sunday. Tuesday or Thursday is fine. I don't want to go to school on my day off. I thought you'd say that, Chris. What time do you have lessons? The second period, so I'm finished in the morning. I'm first period, so how about around noon? Do you mind if I eat first? Of course not. I'll reserve a practice room around that time. The place should be... She tilted her head as if in thought. To make it easy to find, how about the practice room at the very end of the hall? Oh, sure. But we didn't decide Tuesday or Thursday. I'll be in the practice room regardless. I always practice there. Ah, that's right. You're a serious student. Actually, there are people who practice much more than I do. Still, it's very you, Miss Val. Very... me? That wasn't something to say to someone I just met. Just a gut feeling. I see. She just said that and laughed. Alright, see you Tuesday or Thursday. Yes, see you then. With a graceful bow goodbye, she turned to leave. I hurriedly called out to her from behind. Oh, yes, what is it? Thank you for the umbrella. Oh, you don't have to thank me. After parting ways with Miss Val, I ran down the road that would normally be a 3-minute walk and returned home. My hair and clothes didn't end up getting that wet. I think most of this should be the same otherwise. I wasn't sure if that was going to be the same because it's like a different... it was a different day that we met her. It was the first day instead of, I think, the third day that we ended up going there, finally, last time. Is this the same? I think this might be different. That's so too, but it's also kind of normal. That could be true, but she's weird. Why? She's too nice to you, Chris. I'm pretty sure she would find some irony in you calling her weird, Forney. What's that mean? Being called weird by someone with wings and calling herself a fairy. Now that's mean. You're the one that called her weird. Serves you right. That's not true. I'm not weird. Yeah, you're not weird. And neither is Miss Val. You're awfully defensive about her. Not at all. I just think she's nice for lending me her umbrella. So you're happy because someone had been to treat you nicely. The brief pensive expression. She nodded as if she understood something. That's not quite it. I don't really know. It was hard to put into words, so I said it ambiguously. Just as I thought she would keep pressing me with questions. Forney tilted her head, as if she was still thinking. Telling Forney what happened during the day like this was already a daily routine. She didn't want to go outside, but always wanted to hear me talk about it. Fairies are mysterious creatures. Even after living with one for almost 3 years, I didn't fully understand them. She could touch things, but didn't get wet in the rain. She didn't eat anything, and could sing and sing without getting tired. She floated, but couldn't fly, and she could appear and disappear at will. Despite defying the laws of physics, she couldn't get up high and was always bugging me for a hand. But leaving a towel by the door after I left in the morning became Forney's job at some point. In short, it was impossible to think about Forney logically. You could accept her for what she was. It was quite fun. In ancient times written about in history books, people lost a part of their civilization called magic. It was replaced at some point by a field called science, which made a fair amount of progress over many long years. But there were still many things not understood in the world. One of those things was a cheerful fairy, skilled at singing. Thinking about the unknown boundaries of the world was a boundless and ultimately futile experience. That's why I'd come to think these days. Then my usual interaction with Forney finished, and the day came to a close. Alright, so we need to figure out what the hell we're doing to waste time for a week, because obviously we're not committing to anything else. This will be our commitment. Alright, see you later. Have a good day. Looked up at the somber sky, the droplets of rain falling on my body, and so another day began. Unless anything else here is going to change as a result. I think this is the same. We could probably skip to the next choice. Okay, it does keep track of new shit. That's good. I was wondering if it would. It seems like it is, because would definitely be new. I said this yesterday too, but you want me to help you look for candidates? Right, but, Today's Tuesday, right? Is it okay? Torta always went home early on Tuesdays and Thursdays, saying she had plans. I didn't know what she did, but it's not like I told Torta what I did every day, and I didn't ask her either. Reason being that I was afraid of interfering anymore in Torta's business. I realized it suddenly yesterday. It was probably not wrong. That's why I was still choosing my words carefully, so as not to delve too deep. Not really, but it can't be helped at a time like this, right? Yeah. It's time before I finish eating. If you don't want me with you, I'm going home. Saying this, Torta took her last sandwich in hand. Now then, what to do? Alright, what are we gonna do next? Because, like, okay, we'll go here next time and probably take her. I guess we can just do, like, literally anything. Have we gone to the classrooms? Again? Deliberately? I don't think I've gone here before. Because I know this... We don't want to go here. This is, like, literally just song practice. I'm gonna try going here. This is newish, it seems. We'll see what this gives us. I saw Torta out of the cafeteria and remained there so I could speak with Asino. Asino had lessons with Miss Cordell as well, and took her classes straight after me, after the lunch break. I decided to kill some time in the cafeteria, and then headed to the classrooms. Or did we go here? Is this how we got with Asino last time? I don't remember. I still wonder if he's, like, one of the routes. Probably not, but that'd be sick. I don't know how that would work, though, because he's also a Fortel student. It was about 5 minutes before the third period lessons ended, and there was no one in the hallways. I stood in front of the room I had just had a lesson in, and killed a little time again looking at the music I wrote. This feels new. I heard Asino's voice, then closed the music and raised my head. Hi, Chris. What's up? Well... This is rare. But you weren't waiting for me, were you? Miss Cordell is still inside. I think we did go here last time, actually. Let's skip it, so it's not new. It seems like there is a built-in don't skip text we haven't seen before. Yeah, because I remember this scene. I guess I don't remember it because we're doing it on Tuesday instead of Thursday, I think? Yeah, and then we went to the restaurant. I do remember this now. That's fine. We want to waste time for a week because we want to... We want to get to Tuesday. Yeah, we don't need help. We already found someone. We know exactly what we're doing this time. Unlike the previous timeline, this version of Chris knows exactly what he wants. Where can we go this time? Okay, what if we do go to the cafeteria? Does we get like an alternate help? Or is this going to be the same scene as before? We'll see if it lets me skip it. Oh no, this is new. Okay. Torta stood up immediately as she cleared away her empty lunchbox. I'm so glad this has that feature. Usually you have to turn it on. That's why I was worried it didn't, because I didn't see an option for it. But it's just there, which is great. Okay, I'll ask around then. Right, but you have some leads, right? I know you have none, Chris. Just stick with me. Yeah, okay. Right, first, she led me out of the cafeteria to the hallway lined with practice rooms. What are we doing here? Oh, I wanted to ask someone I know. Wait, are we sure this is new? No, this is not new. It was just that one line of dialogue that was new. God damn it. She's fucking useless. She didn't know anyone. This is why it's no point asking her. When we talked about before, you don't believe that, do you? No, I don't believe it. So why? Oh, this is about the fucking rumor from last time. Jealousy is about 1/10 of it. That's not very much. That's just as your childhood friend. So what about the rest? There are things you don't believe, but are afraid of, right? Not that I can think of. Really? Do you believe in God, Chris? Oh, I remember this. Bit of dialogue. Huh? Where did that come from? Just answer. I think we said don't, so let's go with I believe. At least we get new dialogue this way. I suppose I believe. What? Why are you surprised? Belief is normal. I thought you went to church sometimes, Torda. And don't we literally go to church at the end of the game? So, like, I feel like this is the more canonical answer anyways. Yeah, well, that's true. I was thinking of a slightly deeper meaning. A deeper meaning? Do you think there's a god that would intervene in our lives? No, I don't think that. Well, doesn't that sort of mean you don't believe in God? Not really. God definitely exists as a symbol of faith. You're splitting hairs. That's not what I mean. It's like, you know... I don't know what you're saying. So, do you believe that God will punish you for doing something bad? I said I don't believe that. Right? I think most people think like you, Chris. But don't you think that they wouldn't do bad things like vandalizing the church walls? Right. It's the same thing. Even though you know he isn't there, you're too scared to do it. So even though I don't believe the rumor, I don't want you connected with it. There's a bit of a stretch for that to fill the remaining 9/10. I thought about why she didn't want me concerned with the rumor, but I stopped myself. I kind of understand, but that was a pretty roundabout explanation. That's because you gave an unexpected answer. An unexpected answer? You mean about God? Yeah. She lowered her voice slightly at that. What's wrong? If there was a God... If there was? Yeah, I was just thinking that all the bad things in the world would just go away. Yeah, I don't know. If the Bible means anything, I don't think he's that kind of God. God's kind of an asshole. I didn't think expect you to get so deep so suddenly. Don't you think so, Chris? It's not that I disagree with his sentiment. I just think it's very unlikely. I know. I was just thinking it'd be nice. That's not like you. Like me? Yeah, I guess not. Seeming to bounce back, Torda stood up and grabbed her empty cup. Okay, we should head home. Right. It was raining as always outside the window, and it was dark. You think God would let it rain all the time like this? It's probably a punishment. It's probably inflicting divine punishment on this entire city. This is not new. Well, I guess we kind of have to just explore all our options, so we'll go here anyways, although I know this is going to... Yeah. We're too late for this. I think this is something you have to do on day one, or we're just going to get fucked. And if it's not day one, then it's going to be some bullshit, like you have to go exactly at this one specific day. Which is just dumb. That's why I usually just follow guides in games like this. Alright, we better add... Well, might as well add... Might as well record our choices here. I've got a notepad open up here. And I'm actually writing down every choice I make in this path. Maybe it'll help in some way. Practice rooms. We don't have to practice a song. Yeah, we don't need practice. We know what we're doing. I got a perfect on the lesson. I think we're fine. Pale light that shone through the clouds told me not much time had passed since lunch. Normally I'd go home around this time, but now that I had to choose a partner, I couldn't go home so early. Realizing that Miss Cordell would give me a lecture if she found me, I hurried toward the city. Yeah, you better run. Don't let her find you. After walking away from the school for a while, I came to the main road that divided the city in two. Is this new? Feels like it's partially new. No, maybe it's not. Okay. The game knows better than I do. That's good. So this is Saturday. And I think this is... Yeah, this is the same weekend as always. Those probably won't change much. That's Sun. Oh, this is Monday again. Okay. So Tuesday we need to make sure we go to the practice room. We're gonna meet her, and we're not going anywhere else. Wait, what? What did I miss? What's this option for? Is this important? Shit. Oh, no. We don't want to practice with her. We need to do everything we can to ditch her. So not today. We're gonna write down not today. Because that was the mistake last time. We practiced with too many people and we were indecisive. Turns out. Nah, not today. Oh, well, that's fine. I'm sorry. No need to apologize. Just let me know when you're free. I'm free aside from Tuesday and Thursday, so if you tell me during lunch, I'll practice with you. Yeah, got it. Thanks, Torta. And sorry. There's probably a good ending with her that we'll have to do, but we'll worry about that next time. I understood, but it hadn't worked out how I felt about it. If not for Ree's suggestion, I'd have said no more easily. Forget about me, put yourself first, or something like that. Still, it was Ree's letter that was the cause of my confusion. Perhaps Reed too felt that things would be easier if I paired up with Torta. Torta, whom we knew so well, instead of someone entirely unknown. Well, I'm going to practice now. Alright. Torta definitely didn't show it, but there was a hint of sadness in her voice. So slight I could only hear it. Perhaps the whole thing should have been viewed more positively, more so than I did, then. Today was out of the question, but next time, perhaps I'd try asking Torta to practice in a more upbeat way. Now then, what should I do? Yeah, what can we even do here? Wait, we can go here again, though. Huh. Interesting. Well, we already have... We'll save all that for when we do that. Good to know, though. Then we went practice rooms. Oh wait, what did I miss here? Shit. Signed up to be a Wednesday and practice myself. That way I'd be a better performer when I did meet someone. Such regions did, in fact, exist. First, should I play the song from start to end and practice it in parts? Oh, we could play from start to end. No problem. Watch this. Wait, what song is this? I don't know what song he's gonna pick. I don't think these matter, but I'm writing them anyways. Oh, is there a bunch of announcements from Game Awards? I forgot those were tonight. I think what I might do, if people are down for it, I might, for tomorrow for Minecraft, I might just put the Game Awards on in the background. And just watch them then. Not like everything start to finish, but just at least kind of skim through it. Because I am interested in watching them, but I was kind of busy today, and obviously streaming. Can't really watch them while I'm streaming because I'd rather do this. But we can pick a song. Horny song. Okay, that's new. I don't think we ever played this. Wait, can we like... Is this how we get horny? Do we just like go to practice rooms alone? How would that even work though? I am interested. Is this the same song that we did at lesson? I hope not. I guess we'll find out. I think it is. Can we just like... No, we can't actually skip it. I don't want to set to like auto-complete these because it could fuck with things. What if it like sends us down the wrong path? I have not been keeping track of my success of these, but I think as long as we get one yellow, that considers a pass, and that's all that matters. So like you could probably, I guess if you wanted to go for bad ends, then the best thing to do is just like fail these on purpose, which would be really weird, but I'm sure it'll be something we have to do eventually. Hopefully me doing well at this doesn't, like, fuck up Root with Umbrella Girl. Maybe she'll just, like, she'll hear us practicing on our own and be like, well, you don't need me. Go perform yourself. I don't want to practice with you anymore. Even though we have not practiced with her yet. And after she was so nice to us. Oops. Okay, it's not perfect anymore. We'll be fine. Relationship saved. Wait, what do you mean it's fake? The award ceremony or something that you saw there? I don't know, I think it's about as genuine as you can get for an awards ceremony. I like them. I like them for more than just the fucking reveals. I watch them for the awards. Reveals are just a nice bonus. Yeah, not as good as last time. The games? Oh, I see some of the games that were revealed there. Okay. Well, I guess I'll see what that's about tomorrow. I'll definitely probably just put them on as like the background thing. Seems like the perfect time to do it. Since Minecraft is like a very long form, chill kind of stream. Knew best how the performance went. Foundation of practice is repetition. On the other hand, getting used to playing with other people, or the anxiety of performing for an audience, these are important too. It felt it was necessary. I'd practice by myself, of course. I'd probably come back here from time to time. Well, guess it's time to go home. It was getting late. Tidied up the practice room and went home. Okay, let's see. I'll put down pass, because I think that's what I did. Okay, so we went, explain carefully, not today. Okay, we did, past first lesson. I'm gonna try and note how I did on the songs to some extent, because I know that matters. I think in this case, it's not going to matter, but we'll see. Alright, finished lunch. Oh, we can still go place. Oh, it's Tuesday now. Okay, good. Now we can actually go to practice with Foul. So now we want to go to the practice rooms again, but this time with Foul. Let's see if I do well at the song this time. Alright, I'm ready when she is, so... I don't think there's anything weird going on in the background, to be honest. I don't believe that theory. Let's go. I think what does end up happening though is people just are letting people vote for the games though is a bad idea. Because people are biased. Or like in my case, it's like, I haven't played half these games, why am I voting for them? Oh my god, not even close. I hope I get to try this again. We'll see. I don't need that section. We learned that last time. At least for the first lesson. Because the first lesson's really forgiving. That was too fast. Oh, okay, that's fine. See? Salvaged it. Okay, good. I'll take that full score. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. No, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wish they spent more time on the awards themselves. And then just, like, announce them in groups. Like, if you have to make the thing another 3 hours long, so be it. I mean, how long are the Oscars? Aren't the Oscars, like, usually 8 or 6 or 8 hours long? Game Awards are, like, a fraction of that. They totally could spend more time, like, properly presenting more of the awards. There's so many categories that I think should get a spot on stage. Good job. That was impressive for a first attempt. Really? Yeah, it's almost like I've played it before, isn't it? So it's probably a good thing that they don't reference, don't poke at that. That'd be weird. Although that'd be a great plot point. I love it when visual novels do that. Sound of your Fatale is just how I imagined it would be. I'm not really used to being complimented. Maybe the reason he's really good at the Fortell is because he's lived these timelines like a million times. Like, he first time through, never even touched the damn thing. But now he's like a master, because he's had to go through everything so many times. Lived like millions of lives. It's not need to be shy, you know. Val seemed kind of happy when she said this, and then took a peek at the score in front of me. At the moment, the only things I could comment on are little things like, here, or this part, here, your fingers weren't quite keeping up. Yeah, it's gonna take me a second to remember how to do that less than an XV pattern thing again. Suddenly moved her face closer to mine and pointed at a specific spot in the score. With her face so close to mine that I could almost feel her breathe, my eyes didn't end up looking at what she was pointing to. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. Anyway, that's the only issue I can see. Ultimately, we'll have to perform it much better, but for now I think we're fine. We're so close we almost touched. And even though Fallon moved away and tried to look calm, her face was getting red. My heart hurt just a tiny little bit at the sight of that. It was the exact same expression Ari had shown me once before. I don't think it was being excessively self-conscious, but that expression on Fallon's face was more than enough to remind me of Ari. That's kind of you to say. It's also true. She seemed relieved as she spoke, probably because of the change of topic and the wide berth it gave to what just happened in the room. Thanks. So, keeping what you just said in mind, shall we practice a bit more? Sure, why not? Still have plenty of time. Alright. The awkward atmosphere that had lingered soon disappeared, and we both returned to our scores to continue practicing. Man, it's almost like big professional games with high budgets and, you know, high and professional developers deserve awards or something. But remember, people also vote for that shit because it's what's popular. It's what people know. Barely anyone's going to look at those like votes like, here, pick which game you think should win, and be like, I think this game has the most artistic merit. Or, I think this game played really well. They're going to be like, oh, big game, I know that game, click button. That's why people shouldn't be allowed to vote for the awards. No one votes for the fucking Oscars. Phew. Practice for today ended with the two of us sighing deeply. The people are the problem. Get rid of the fucking community vote, or have like one community vote category and nothing else. Don't give us the ability to vote for every single category, because no one's gonna do it fairly. Everyone likes to complain about all the people in the back room passing money around and shit, and whatever other conspiracy bullshit they want to come up with. How about you blame the other fans that are making their votes based solely on which games they recognize, instead of being fair about it? Perhaps it was because it had been a long time since I'd rehearsed with someone besides Forney, or even played new songs, but I quite enjoyed the practice. We couldn't see outside, but upon looking at the clock on the wall, I realized it was more or less evening now. Time really does pass quickly when practicing seriously, doesn't it? It was too early for the school to be closed completely, but it was about the time that our teachers would do their rounds. We started to make an effort to pack up. What should I do with this score? Oh, you can keep that. I don't really plan to practice with anyone else at the moment, but if I do, I'll just make another copy. I don't recall copying a score to be that easy, though. I remembered having to copy the scores of famous compositions in class, and started to have my doubts about it being something one can just do. It's okay, I'm used to it. Also, I actually don't mind writing out the scores. A smile lit up her face as she spoke, one that almost suggested she really did enjoy it. Okay, great. I was honestly impressed, and just for a brief moment, I felt embarrassed about my own laziness. One of the requirements for graduating was a performance with another musician. I hadn't found a partner, or even prepared a score for that hypothetical partner. Just seeing the dedication that Fal put in was enough to engrave that into my mind. You're really impressive. Really? I've never seen a puzzle shooter like that, though. What games have you played that were like Deathloop? I'm curious now. I can't think of a single game that's remotely similar to Deathloop. That is a shooter. I can think of games that aren't shooters. I can think of like actual classic point-and-click adventure games that play like Deathloop, but in the sense of like, here's this one world, figure out how to do everything in the correct order. That's it, though. Any game that loops with a gun, like what? What games loop with a gun? I don't think that you can even compare those things. Deathloop seems very creative to me. If Deathloop won any awards, they deserve it. No, I'm not. File smiled happily, and then picked up her bag as if to show she'd finished packing up. I don't know, I'll probably have better reactions and comments on things tomorrow when I watch them, because I haven't watched them yet, and I don't plan on paying attention to them until I watch them myself tomorrow. So, tune in for Minecraft when we watch the Game Awards. Val smiled happily and then picked up her bag, as if to show she'd finished packing up. Promised by her, I quickly put my score in my bag, and we left the practice room. I don't want to know if it did or not, but I fucking hope Metroid Dread won every category it was in. That game needs it. I voted for Dread because it actually was a good game. Although there was a couple categories I think I voted for a different game instead, though. I don't remember what categories it was all in. I would have to go look again, if I can. See what I voted for. Looking out the window, I noticed the rain had gotten just a little lighter. Are you heading home now, Fal? No, not yet. I'd like to leave with you, but I don't think I can today. Oh, okay. We weren't exactly close enough for me to have felt any pangs of regret, but I did feel something about her words when she said she would like to leave with me. I'm going to head home. Sure. Before you go, there's something I'd like to ask you. What is it? What did you think of today? What did I think? Of my singing, or practice, that kind of thing. Well, I said so before too, but I thought you were really good. You think so? Thanks. I really enjoyed your foretell too. Thanks a lot. Before I knew it, the uncomfortable feeling that I had felt in the beginning about playing with someone I knew nothing about had practically disappeared. It was all thanks to Val, and how easygoing she was about it all. Even having only spent a very short amount of time with her, I felt that it would be impossible for anyone not to like her after witnessing how sincere she was towards music and everything else. I was no exception to this, and smiled back at her naturally as I asked about what we would do next. So, what's next? I guess you still want more time before choosing a partner, right? No, I think I'm good. I'm ready. I guess so, yeah. No, we're fine. We're picking her. I'm gonna make sure we don't hang out with anyone else but her. In that case, I'm always here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so if you have time, why don't we practice again? Sounds good. Although I can't make any promises. No, you fucking can make promises. We're not gonna be wishy-washy this time around. That's no problem at all. Done. So if I come by again, would it be okay at about the same time as today? Yes, I'll use the same room. If someone happens to be using it before me, I'll just move one room down the hallway, so be sure to check through the window. Okay, got it. Saw no problems in taking it slow to decide what we really should be doing next. And I felt it was important to have time to broaden our future options. So what are you going to do now, Val? I have something I have to do in the first hall. Okay, let's go to the entrance together then. Time shift. Cruelty Squad and Time Shift. Cruelty Squad sounds familiar. I didn't know it had a time travel aspect. Oh, okay. Some indie game, I guess. I mean, like... I don't know. I remember this game. I saw someone play it. It was really confusing. It didn't seem to... It just seemed like it was, haha, weird shooter game, which... That's great. But I didn't know it had, like, a time looping thing where you have to repeat the same day over and over again. Time shift. Slow, stop, and reverse the flow of time to destroy your enemies. That's very different from Deathloop. What makes this game similar? Time Shift's an actual game. Yeah, I mean, Time Shift is an actual game. But it doesn't seem any similar to... That's not Deathloop, though. Deathloop is Groundhog Day. This is just control the flow of time. Very different, I'd say. Also, lol at $1,000 to buy every Activision game on Steam. Yeah, I would disagree. Those don't sound like the same game at all. I would say that Deathloop is a lot closer to, like, maybe visual novels or point-and-click adventure games, where it's like, you know what's going to happen next. You need to do whatever you can to prevent that. And you have to, like, think about what you can do to prevent certain things from happening or making things happen in different ways. Being able to reverse time in, like, a short stint, that's not the same thing, I don't think. Because a lot of games have time reversal. I would say Deathloop, if anything, if it was compared to any game, it would be more like Majora's Mask. Because Majora's Mask is also like, okay, repeat these 3 days over and over again until everything goes right. Standing in front of the school building, Val spoke as she looked up at the sky. I didn't bring an umbrella today. It's only raining lightly, so you should be okay. You're right. Well, see you next time. Yeah, see you. Yeah, but that's the problem. You're oversimplifying it. In that case, what are all these fucking shooters copying Doom for? Or Wolfenstein, actually. Everything's just a rip-off of Wolfenstein. Why can't people be more creative with their shooters? Fuck all shooters. They're just Wolfenstein in disguise. Fuck all platformers. They're just Donkey Kong in disguise. Fuck all shmups. They're just Space Game in disguise. Yeah, but that's the problem. You can't simplify it like that. In that case, games should have just stopped after the 70s. We shouldn't have had any games after the 70s because all genres were explored. By the time 1981 came around and we got Donkey Kong, games were done. They were solved. No innovation anymore. Yeah, I'm being facetious. I disagree 100,000%. Because if that's the way you think, then that's unfortunate, I think. Very unfortunate. Man, fuck visual novels. Books were invented 1,000 years ago. Why do we even have these? Why am I playing this right now? I should just not play video games at all. But you kind of are. You're complaining that Deathloop is like another game because it has time and shoot. But that you can't boil it down to a shooter with time because the way it uses time is so different. I can't agree with you in the slightest. I see where you're coming from. I don't think that's a very like I don't agree with that take at all. Because it's oversimplifying it way too much. Alright, I think these we've all seen. Okay, where are we going today? We can't go... We can go to cafeteria and hang out with Torta, but I think we'll just go here. I wonder, if we go to practice room... practice from start to end every time... Kind of shame we have to do this. I mean, I guess I could just hang out with Torta, but I feel like that might affect our ability. But stealing is stealing. That's completely different. I don't even see how those are comparable. There's no way you can justify stealing. What? Don't tell me you're actually trying to justify stealing. Because there's different types of stealing. Stealing is stealing. There's different kinds of games. That's like saying all food is the same. That's like saying all music is the same, because notes are being played. Okay, that's fine if there's different types, but stealing is stealing. It's still wrong, either way. That's one thing you can boil down. I don't think they're comparable. Why are we having this conversation? We've had this before, and it never turned out well. Wow, fuck me. Okay, why can I do the second version of that, but not the first part? Good thing we're practicing this. I hope this doesn't actually affect anything. But I would be surprised if we played Forney's song. That's how we get her. It all makes sense now. My eyes have been opened to the secrets of this game. And I now have a plan. Not even close. So was there any game at the Game Awards that you thought was actually unique, or is everything just boiled down to a genre that's been apparently done to death, and it's impossible for it to be done in any new way? What? How is Cuphead unique? What about Cuphead is so unique that it's never been done before? And don't say the art style. Because that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about game genres. Art style is not a game genre. Yeah, that's not, so it's a shmup. It's a run and gun. You mean Mega Man? And it's also technically not a shmup, because a shmup is vertical or horizontal scrolling, but you fly. It's a shmup with gravity if you want to get facetious. Parry system? Oh, okay, you mean parry system like, oh, one click, no, we're done. Now, that scares me. If it's giving me a continue prompt, that could be just for Forney song, but might also affect other things. We'll see. Okay, I'll write down that I failed, because I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I got a bad end for this game. You can check my achievements on Steam. But yeah, apparently the ending we got last week in this game was the bad end. The neutral bad end. Because we didn't pick anyone, technically. We ended up like playing equally with every single person we met. So it just ended up giving us the bad end. So this week, I'm doing everything I can to ditch everyone except Umbrella Girl. I only practice with Umbrella Girl, so to waste time otherwise, I just like go to the practice room alone. Which is probably a good thing because I really need to make sure I practice this song. A boss rush. I can name you a number of games that have boss rushes. A parry system? You mean the thing that's in every single character action game? The thing that's in a lot of 2D games as well. You could parry in some... I'm trying to remember what game it was from Super Nintendo. Was it Super Nintendo? I mean, you could kind of parry attacks in Zelda 2, if you want to get real technical. But what does that have to do with anything? Why is Cuphead get the exception of super ultra specific differences, but not Deathloop? You mean bullets? You can parry bullets in lots of games. I've parried bullets in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Yeah, unfortunately, something tells me we're not going to be able to go with Asino. I would love that as like a secret 6th route, but... it's not happening. A good game nowadays is not necessarily about being original and new, but well executed. Exactly, Yonatan. Thank you. Like, I don't get the idea that it's apparently Deathloop's been done before, so it's boring. Like, to be fair though, I don't think it has been done before. I can't think of a lot of games that, or any game that combines specifically a shooter with the idea of Groundhog Day, with the Groundhog Day style day repeating system. I call it Groundhog Day, but I'm sure it's been done before the movie Groundhog Day. But like, Majora's Mask is the only other game that really comes to mind, and maybe some visual novels. But the nature of a visual novel makes that obvious. It says a port forward all ports 84,000. What? So you didn't DMZ your computer, you just decide to port a very specific range. Look, I only DMZ my computers because I'm too fucking lazy to port forward a bunch of ports. I'm just like, fuck it. Throw it out there. I like to live on the edge. Alright, let's go. We're gonna rock this song this time. I practiced it super hard yesterday. I swear. I swear I practiced it. Okay, there we go. Didn't totally fail that. Kinda wish you had the option to like see the lyrics in Japanese, so you could actually like sing along. Maybe it was a good thing that we got the bad end first. We kind of got like the tour of the whole game. Got a couple of different songs. See what it's all about. Now I can actually buckle down and get good at the music. I'm actually losing performance? I mean, I'm Halo early, actually. There we go. Play the whole game in Japanese. Yeah, let me read the fucking... all the 1,000+ kanji I don't know. And it's not like you guys would understand it. I'd have to sit there and translate it anyways. Look, if I could, I would. But I'll be the first to admit, my kanji ain't so great. Maybe it feels like one of the really nice visual novels that had filigrana and everything. That could be fun to narrate, but no one would know what the hell's going on. Phew, that sounded great. While catching her breath, she immediately spoke after she finished singing. Okay, I need to write down that I passed. It's important that we keep track of these things. Alright, what did I miss here? Yeah, like, I don't think it's true that literally every game's been done before, but it's definitely gotten a lot harder in the last couple decades to actually come up with a truly new, unique idea. Because one, people are going to try and compare it to something that they know. That's just how humans work. Two, a lot of stuff's been done before. So, as time progresses, it stands to reason that there's going to be fewer and fewer actually new, unique ideas. It's just going to be previous stuff with a new twist, or mixing things together in a way that hasn't been done before. So the individual items are new, but the way they're put together isn't. So mixing a first-person shooter with Majora's Mask daylight or day cycles, that's new. I don't think that's been done before. But I think it's a little disingenuous to say, oh, it's a first-person shooter with time mechanics. Well, a lot of things are. Oh, it's an adventure, it's a puzzle game with a sword fighting. That explains so many games that aren't just Zelda. While catching her breath, she immediately spoke after she finished singing. I felt embarrassed at receiving such direct compliment, but also slightly happy at the same time. You know that I'm not good with compliments. I know. But I said it because I felt great singing just now. It seemed like she really enjoyed singing from the bottom of her heart, just like Forney did. Unable to find the right response, I shook the fatigue out of my hands and waited for her to continue speaking. Oh, I think I discovered also how to, for those just joined, I figured out how to get with the fairy. I think. Maybe. There is one part in the game where you can choose to play Forney's song, and that's when you go to the practice room on your own. I bet if you play that song enough, somehow, you'll be able to hook up with the fairy. Val picked up on this, and with a slightly mischievous smile, she continued. I've seen what I did with ports in the past. I'm scared to even touch the services I'm running and haven't maintained for like 2 years. I mean, if it works already, definitely don't fix it if it's not broken. I've learned that so many times with computers. If it's working, don't question it. Maybe it's not working the way it should. Maybe it's got some downside that's like super minor and would be better if it didn't. But if it's working, don't fuck with it. Doesn't matter how messy anything else is. Just don't question it, ignore it, pretend you don't even see the problem. All you see is the result, and the result is good. The result is what you want. Okay, if I were to nitpick, I'd say you probably need to improve on our sense of timing for the retardando and the fermata. Yeah, I still fail the fucking... I'm hitting everything too early, to be honest. It's actually, yeah. Okay, this is all the same. We can skip this. This game has a very smart auto-skip function where it does not let you skip text you have not seen before, which is very nice. That means we can do this, and we can speed up a little bit. I was thinking of what to do over lunch when Torta asked me as if to make sure. Chris, are you free on Sunday? I don't think I have any plans. Why? Was this the same thing? It was a new scene, so it's another reason it stopped skipping. Oh, I guess not. Maybe this is considered new. It might be because it's in the back end, it's considered a new set of dialogue that they may have just copy-paste, but it's a new box. That might be why. Oh, Nina. I guess I haven't been by lately. But just in case, we'll let it play out. You haven't been by at all. Only a couple times a year. She's kind of worried. Oh, last time must have been in the summer. That's right. Nina was Torta's grandmother, and she took care of me a lot when I was little. She had previously lived with Ari and Torta in their house, but when I was about 10 years old, she suddenly said she was going to live in Piova and moved there alone. She was a natural-born dilettante and loved music. Dilettante. Fuck these Italian words. And when she said she wanted to spend her remaining years here, the twins and their parents didn't protest much. Now Torta was renting a room on the second floor. I still thought that that was Nina's plan from the beginning. So, what do you want to do? I'll go if you put it like that. Good. Grandma will be happy. My Fortel. I should probably bring it. Of course you should. Playing the Fortel for is equivalent to making an appearance. We've been doing nothing but practicing lately, but I guess it's fine. Well then, if you think it's so annoying, maybe it's best if you don't bring it? Everything's been done. Yeah, I mean, that's just how time works. Over time, popular things get done to death. Video games have been popular for 30 years. It stands to reason, quote-unquote, everything has been done. You should play VR games, Womp. Maybe those will feel fresh to you. Maybe a new control scheme will help you out. No, sorry, that's not what I meant. I'm just a little tired. I know. That's what you do when you're embarrassed, right? That's not it. Yes, it is. Just meet me by my house with your Fortel, okay? What time? Just after lunch would be good. Even if we do decide to play, it should only take 3 hours or so. What about lunch? Don't you want to eat with us? Can't ask that much of you two. Neither myself nor Grandma minds. Even so. So 3 o'clock. Fine then. But you'll have dinner with us, right? That would make Grandma happy. If you insist. Okay, so see you Sunday. I think we can skip this whole scene. Okay, what are we doing today? Oh, obviously, go to practice rooms. Again. Okay, I think this is when we... Yeah, this is, go practice room. I'll just put that down as that, even though it's technically not this. This is when we go and help her copy sheet music. Yep. I'm so glad alt-tabbing doesn't pause the game. A lot of the games I've been streaming recently on PC, alt-tabbing completely fucks up the game. This game's nice. I always appreciate a game that lets me alt-tab like that. I think I mean, it's very unfortunate that you need everything to be perfectly, like, 100% new, because I think you're gonna find that that's very, very rare. And it's gonna be very hard going forward to find stuff like that. Like, you're gonna have to hope for some completely new form of entertainment at this point then. Okay, it doesn't let me skip a lot of these types of screens, even though they're all the same. Yeah. We definitely did this, like, entire thing. I wouldn't be surprised if this scene's consistent through all playthroughs. I can't think of a single time where it might not be. Unless we get with Forney, and then it's just like, yeah, sorry, I gotta go hang out with my new girlfriend, the fairy. I'm busy on Sunday. And then we just ditch Torta entirely. But we saw this scene before. Yeah, see, Forney's upset that we're late. It's totally what's gonna happen. We're gonna ditch Torta, ditch her grandmother, and go and chill with the fairy. Literally only one thing I can do today, and that is practice. So we'll go practice rooms, play from start to end, not that that matters. Alright, we'll do Forney's song again. I don't know if that's gonna change anything, but I want to test my theory a little bit. At least Forney's song is easy. You'd think that she would be like one of the easier ones to get, but she seems kind of out of the way if she's one of the roots. If she is a root, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how this is gonna work. Is she gonna, like, just reveal herself to the entire town? She's not even a student though, so would I even be able to pick her regardless? I feel like I'd get some weird looks from that. Picking an outsider. I bet other students would be upset, because it'd mean that they weren't good enough. I had to go with some magical creature. The only one who can complement my sick foretell playing skills. Wow, fuck me. I mean, like, yeah, sci-fi shit, if that ever happens, that would be pretty new. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it sounds like you need something completely... You need to hope for to be some completely new type of entertainment. Because it seems like books, movies, games, and music are not gonna cut it anymore. Because in your mind, you've seen it all. Maybe you need to wait for brain scan technology and play those. That's going to be a thing. But maybe you'll get bored of those too, because once you've played one of those games, you'll have played them all. Alright, now we can go here. Is this all the same? Kind of. Oh shit. Pause! Ah shit, not ready. Ah crap! I had to alt tab back in. I thought it was gonna give me the option. We're going straight into it apparently. Why can't I do that trill? Fuck me. How did I still survive with 3 bars on that? I can't believe it. I wonder how complex it would be if I were to try and map all these keys to an actual piano. I think it would be very disorientating, because I'd have to try and remember which key is like which letter of the alphabet. I cannot look at the actual notes. Fuck. Okay, we're good. I need to like definitely slow this section. Definitely playing it too fast before. Oof, almost screwed it up. I need to slow it down because like the later iterations of these practice sessions are gonna be way more strict in timing. I'm playing it too fast like that. This is gonna be way too much. I'm just gonna tank my score. Alright, let's see. So, oops, sorry. Okay, then we went to practice with fell, passed. I think we read all these. Yeah, these are pretty much all the same, because we passed them last time too, but with like tons and tons of practice beforehand. Alright, now we can go with her again. This is session number 2, which I remember us doing. So there's like a third session that we didn't get to do then? Now that we're not hanging out with Torta? Oh yeah, this was this part. See, this is happening like a week earlier now, just about. So let me write down again. I think we're like almost through this entire route, except for the ending, which is probably gonna be very different. Yeah, because we did this, Had plans, gonna go either. Okay, we're definitely going with Foul here. That is the plan. We have no room for wishy-washy decision making anymore. We gotta commit. So we're going with Foul. Oh yeah, we did this too, I think, because I think we definitely went this way because we were going to eat with her. Yeah, we had the sandwich scene. Eating in the practice rooms like a bunch of rebels. And only one thing we can do, which is practice. Can we just practice like a part of the thing and make this faster? Speed run this part? Or is this going to make it longer? Oh! Oh! That just skips the entire thing! Wow! New speedrun strat. Don't pick practice from start to end. May or may not affect our path with Forney, theoretically, but I don't know. Did we read this part? I don't know. Sky was covered in dense clouds as always, but it was still bright enough for the town to not need streetlights during the day. Because of this, I often wouldn't notice my room slowly becoming darker as the sun moved behind the clouds. After playing my Fortel with its sound muffled and reading the book I had borrowed from Asino, it eventually became more or less nighttime. Did we? I don't... This is new. Maybe. Is it? I don't know if this scene's new. Is it about time for dinner? Forney asked this question to let me know what time it was, as I had sat down at my Fortel again and started playing an improvised song. Even though Forney wouldn't hum along to the melody of whatever I played, when the time came for something to be done, she always remembered. She was annoying at times, but for someone who was so as forgetful of time as I was, she was a lifesaver. Huh? It's already that time of day? I stretched my arms out above my head and took a look at the clock, and found that it was still only a little after 6. We didn't have a perfectly fixed dinner time, but I felt that this was a little earlier than usual. Isn't it still a bit early? A little, yeah. But there's something I want to ask you about. Oh, what could that be? What are your plans for dinner tonight? What do you mean? I detected a hint of something serious in Forney's usual light tone. Well, I was wondering if you were maybe going to eat out again. Oh, right, it's Saturday. Yeah, that might be a nice idea. You'd forgotten? No, I hadn't forgotten. I just wasn't going to think about dinner until that time actually came. I see. Forney? It's nothing. That's what you wanted to ask me about? I guess so. Forney? Why would she have wanted to ask me about that? Is this because I've been practicing her song? This is probably related to her route. A teaser for what's to come. And why'd she have thought that I was thinking about eating out? It's nothing. I was just wondering, that's all. Why'd you think I would eat out tonight? Because you and Foul have been practicing a lot together these days. Oh, maybe this is related to Foul's route. Yeah, I guess we have. Tell me, what's she like? She's really diligent. I told you that before, didn't I? But that's just a first impression. I want to know more about her. Why the sudden interest? Well, seems like you two practice a lot together, so naturally I started to wonder. Fair enough. I guess we have been practicing a lot, but what kind of person is she? Truth was, I wasn't entirely sure either. That's a difficult question. I wasn't sure if she was listening to me or not, because for a while Forney just tilted her head to the side and thought, murmuring for a while, before suddenly raising her voice. In that case, I'll go with you. What? Yeah, wait, what? I want to see what she's like. You do realize that. I would take no for an answer. If you try to say no, I'll tell Ree everything. And how are you going to do that? You just watch. I'll use this pen and... The pen was about the same size as her body. Once she had wrapped her arms around it in an attempt to lift it, I picked up the pen by its tip, with Forney hanging from it. She didn't seem to have the strength to hold on and soon slipped off the pen, fluttering her wings. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Didn't you learn the first time? You just can't do it. But... Okay. If it'll make you happy, I'll bring you along. Really? Are you sure? Well, it's better than having you make a mess of my letters. Remember, she's working, okay? There's no guarantee we'll actually see her, so don't go complaining if we don't. Okay, I'm sure I can get a peek if I go looking for her anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's not like she's visible, so she can kind of go wherever the hell she wants. It'd be great if you didn't do anything stupid, though. Anyway, I guess I'm the only one who needs to get ready to go out. Of course I won't. I'm ready to go anytime. Forney didn't need to do anything before going out. So once the decision to go to Fal's Trattoria was made, she would start fluttering about happily, telling me to hurry up. Chris, you're such a slowpoke. Unlike you, Forney, my body obeys the laws of physics. Don't treat me like another musical fairy or whatever you are. Changed out of my house clothes and put on something slightly more respectable. The rain didn't seem to be so heavy, but I still had to choose what I wore carefully. Even if we were just going to a trattoria, there was always the possibility that Fal would see me. Unlike the town that Ari lived in, it was still warm here, so I didn't need a coat. I put on a thick jacket and then stood at the front door. I don't need a coat, proceeds to put on thick jacket. Uh-huh. Okay. I don't know where that logic's coming from, but sure. Forney, I'm ready. Come on. It took forever. Hearing that I was ready, Forney fluttered her wings happily. I would never say it to her face that she'd get angry, but she was kind of like a pet. She leaped vigorously from the table and fell. Or perhaps I should say glided to where I was waiting. I caught her in my hand before she hit the ground, and then placed her on my shoulder. Okay, let's go. Sure. This is definitely new. See, I personally enjoy playing games, even if they are only slight variations. I don't need games to be new to have fun. I just need them to be fun. And all visual novels play the same. It's probably the one genre that you just can't really change because so much of the genre is specified. Like, visual novels are very specific types of games. So like, once you play one visual novel, you technically played them all. But you don't play them for the gameplay. You have fun reading the story and learning about the characters. And sometimes they have cool twists to them, like this one has the whole rhythm game included, which you don't see in a lot of visual novels. Or like that dancing game that had the whole RPG thing, which I think is a sick idea, and someone should steal and make another one of, because it sounds like they won't. Slightly cold on the street. Truly blessed. I think it's more like this is normal, and whatever I haven't. You're the first person I've met that has had that opinion about games, to be honest. Everyone I've talked to is either like, nah, I just don't care for games, or is like, yeah, I fucking love video games. No one I've talked to has been like, games suck because they're all the same. With a mysterious little fairy on my shoulder, the rain and cold both meant nothing, and she happily gazed down the street. So, is she, like, physically there? Like, does rain... She can touch things, but she doesn't get wet. Does that mean the rain passes through her? Does rain still, like, fall on her? Is someone gonna look at him and be wondering why raindrops are splashing on nothing? How does this work? What is the lore here? What are the physics that she is breaking? I need to know these things. I hope we get some explanation for both her and the rain. Because so far they've meant nothing, and yet they've been mentioned at every chance we get. This way? Is it this way? Yeah, it's this way. We're heading there right now, so you can go without an explanation, right? Also, it's not like you're doing the walking anyway. Like, we already proved in the last route that people can't see her because we look like a bunch of fucking crazies talking to nothing when, was it Sino? Sino came over? Or was it Torta? No, it was, Ari. Ari came over. It was, like, at the end. That's true. Looking at Forney happily taking in the city, I remembered that it really had been a while for her. She seemed very pleased to be going out somewhere. Although, she never really said that she wanted to go out in the first place, so I had always assumed she didn't care. Perhaps it was simply because she'd heard all these things about Fal, and now was able to see for herself. This makes you happy? Of course, it's been a while, you know? She shook her wings a little, and it kind of tickled my ear. He can feel her, so she must be physically there. It's not fucking hallucinating, he hasn't been taking drugs this entire time. Hey, sit still. Oh, sorry, what if she like brushed up against someone else? Would they feel her? And are you happy because you're going to meet Fal? That's one reason, but mainly because we're outside. You could just go outside whenever you feel like it, you know? Is it because you can't fly to high places with those wings? No, I could go on my own if I wanted. I could just walk. But... But going out all by myself? You know I have school and... I didn't mean it like that. It's not like I always want to go outside. I just feel happy just going out occasionally like this. If you say so. Yes, I do. Forney's smile was decisive, and that topic was drawn to a close. Forney said it herself, so I guess she was happy with the way things were. But anyway, are we there yet? Almost. Just around the next corner. What's it called? Cupboard. Which you'd have found out right when we got there. More importantly, you know the rules, right? I know. No talking to you when we're talking with Val. And no getting angry if I ignore you. And also, no going off anywhere. Yes. Okay. I went over a number of rules that we had set out for going out. Forney could not be seen by anyone else. She was not supposed to talk to me unless she was absolutely necessary. It wasn't a very pleasant feeling when people looked at you like you're strange for talking to yourself. Okay, it's just over there. Clearly she forgot those rules. Last brute. Good evening. Welcome. The same server as last time greeted me and guided me to a table. We were here a little earlier than I was last time, so the trattoria wasn't so crowded yet. We were lucky as there were still plenty of two-person tables left, so we had a lot of space. We'd most likely be finished with dinner by 7 when it starts getting busy, so sharing a table with someone wouldn't be a problem either. I helped Forney down from my shoulder and browsed the menu that I didn't get to see last time. What are you gonna order? I'll just get whatever. I kept my eyes on the menu while I responded, and I did my best not to move my lips while I spoke. Is he like a fucking ventriloquist on the side? Damn. That person just now wasn't Val, right? Is Val gonna come out and take your order? No, I told you she works in the kitchen as a cook. Straight after saying this, a server I had never seen before came and took my order. Without looking at the menu, I just ordered the same lasagna as last time. Annoyed perhaps by the fact that the server wasn't who she wanted to see, Forney started to pester me. She's very quick to forget the rules. Hey, can I go take a peek in the kitchen? What the fuck, no? If it bothers you that much, go ahead. This seems like a terrible idea. Just don't trip over anything. The bathroom is over there, right? And past that looks like a place only staff can enter. Sure does. Drop me off over there. Fine. It really could be a pain sometimes. She looked like she didn't need much, but it turned out that she was kind of a high maintenance. I placed Forney on my hand, then pretended to scratch my head using that motion to return her to my shoulder, and that was when someone suddenly spoke to me from behind me. Chris, good evening. Oh. Hey. I turned about in surprise, and the momentum of this almost made Forney fall from my shoulders. I scooped her up quickly and pretended to strain my clothes to put her back on my shoulder. Let's spin around so suddenly like that. Since you came back again, I guess that means you like it here. Oh, could this be her? Good evening, Val. And yeah, it's kinda nice here. I said Val's name on purpose so that Forney would know it was her. You're dressed casually today. Not working tonight? Well, actually, it seems that from today I can finish up at 6. The boss just told me a moment ago. What time do you usually work till? 9 o'clock. So now my shift is a whole 3 hours shorter. I was informed quite suddenly, so I still have lots of things to do, which is why I'm still here, but I should be able to finish up a little more smoothly in the future. Right, but, wasn't it her choice rather than the boss's, whether or not she'd shorten her working hours like that? It wasn't a management decision, since Val currently had an important role in the kitchen. But if that were the case, it didn't make sense. I had made a point of not really thinking about it thus far, but it was strange that Val would be working during such an important time at school. And for the reason why she was working, it wasn't as if I didn't have my own suspicions. However, when I looked at Val, I found it hard to believe I could be right, and I didn't have the heart to ask. What's wrong? What's wrong? Both Forney and Val asked me the same thing, at almost the exact same time. Ignoring Forney for the time being, I gave a vague response. No, it's nothing. It's about my part-time job, right? What do you mean? I thought you might be wondering why my shift got shorter, or maybe why, if I was able to, had I not shortened them up until now. You don't need to be concerned. My pay isn't going to change. Wow, we're actually getting into this? Damn. Val's response hit the nail on the head, as if she understood my vague answer, my silence, everything. And that response spoke just the kind of beginning of why I wanted to know. Why is Val working? Only I could hear Forney's voice, and her question. Since we'd spoken about Val a lot recently, I guess Forney had enough time to start thinking about why Val was working. And it seems that she now had the same suspicion that I did. Do you mind if I eat with you? Huh? I'm hungry, and there's something I wanted to talk about, and that chair happens to be empty, so why not? Or are you waiting for someone? No, I'm just here for dinner, so have a seat. I recalled the whole reason why I brought Forney here, thanks to her sudden tugging on my ear. No one, like, sees his ear getting tugged on? Or notices? Good boy. What the fuck is this? Okay, just give me a moment. Just as I thought she was going to sit down, she suddenly headed off into the kitchen. Is she going to cook something for herself? I guess working at a restaurant has its advantages. Hey, what is it? She's quite pretty, huh? I suppose she is. She's quite nice, huh? I guess so. And the two of you are practicing late every day, right? That part's wrong. Really? Be quiet, she's coming back. A small voice, I silenced Forney and shifted my gaze to Val, as if I'd simply been waiting. I don't need to worry about being heard, you know. Yeah, well, you're not the only one in this conversation, okay? Just shut up. Sorry I kept you waiting. Were you in the kitchen? Yes, I just went straight into the kitchen and told them what I wanted. I'd feel a little weird to have someone come by and take my order, and it's also just faster this way. I'd feel the opposite, but maybe that's just me. Oh, right. You wouldn't go as far as just cooking it yourself, huh? Of course not. That'd be a waste of our dinner time together. Noticing that fella gone slightly red in the cheeks, Forney for some reason made a very unhappy face and complained in my ear. Oops. I didn't know right-click opened the pause menu. I suppose she did so, thinking of Marie. So, what did you order? I chose a pasta. How about you, Chris? I got the same thing as last time. I mean, you're at a pasta place. What else are you going to order? I mean, like, actually, though, what would you order besides pasta? I'm going to go to this place that sells burgers. I wonder if I should have a burger. Like, you go literally anywhere else if you didn't want the thing that the restaurant specialized in. Oh yeah, just go to a restaurant and be like, hey, can I have a bag of your flour? I just want, like, your flour. I don't want it prepared or anything. I just want the flour. Yeah, that's what you do. I wonder if anyone's tried doing that. Just tried buying ingredients off of a restaurant before. Like, walking in like a customer and just be like, yo, can I buy some of your stock? Like, literally, can I have some of your broth? I know you guys have broth back there. Oh, you really liked it then? I guess I did. But, you know, it's likely that she's not cooking it this time, considering that she's sitting here and not in the kitchen. You two really get along well. What she said was most certainly true. Val was happy that we could have dinner together and her cheeks were red. I'd ordered the same lasagna that she treated me to last time. The whole thing was meant to have been an on-the-spot decision, and I hadn't intended for it to turn out this way. But it was true that I had taken a liking to this place and the food, so I felt no need to make any corrections or look at Forney. Well, your lasagna should be here soon. When I was in the kitchen, I saw them putting in the final touches. Oh, I see. I was probably being overly conscious of Forney, as my answer was a bit vague. But even so, I did my best not to be too distant and pass the time until our meals arrived. We didn't end up having much time to talk, did we? Not really. My predicament aside, by the time Val's meal had arrived, the trattoria started to get crowded, and it soon felt hard to have a relaxed, quiet meal. We walked down a lane near the trattoria to an area with some cover from the rain. Once there, Val started talking. One second. Did I not click that? There we go. I have to say, I'm glad that I have more time to dedicate to practice now. Val said this cheerfully, and suddenly, yeah, you must be happy. I have all of tomorrow off, but what about you? Are you going to practice? Yeah, I'll practice something, I guess. Practice something, you guess? Are you sure that's the best attitude? Hey, you listen here. Chris works pretty hard on Sundays, you know? I mean, sure, he doesn't do much on other days when he's home, but... Ow! Pretending that I was wiping some rain off my shoulder, I lightly flicked Orny's forehead. It almost sounded like she was defending me, but it wasn't as if Fal could hear her. But I could somehow tell that Fal was just saying it out of concern for me. Anyway, that's more or less the plan. Well, if that's the case, why don't we practice tomorrow? Even though you have the day off? Yes, there's that thing I wanted to tell you about too. But going all the way to school on a day off? I don't know. I didn't dislike the idea of practicing itself, so I joked around a little. Then somewhere that's not the school would be fine? Huh? Anywhere but the school, right? I guess? In that case, do you want to come to my place? Ooh, here we go. Your place. I'm not sure if... Then we'll just have to go to yours. Aw, okay. Second best thing. Whoa, wait a sec. That way you don't have to go to the trouble of carrying your Fertel. I'm sure we won't get any complaints for making noise in the daytime around that area. Those are all good points, but... Okay, perfect. Sorry? Huh? That's not what I meant. Are there any problems with what I just said? My room needs some serious cleaning. Ah, the classic excuse. Let's see if she still persists. I like cleaning, you know. Oh shit! She likes cleaning. Crap. That excuse ain't gonna work here. Or is it that you just don't want to practice? I didn't say that. So you want to practice, but you don't want to go to school, and you don't want me going to my place either. Yikes. And your place has your instrument, and we don't have to worry about noise. I can hear her wrapping you around her little finger. I could see that for myself. So, if there's no problem with any of the things I just mentioned, I guess that means... Uh-oh, she's got you now, you know. I could see that too. You don't want to practice with me. Yep, she's definitely got you. It's not like that at all. Which means... Well, I mean, considering what our goal is here, I think there's only one obvious answer. This lady, she makes me fear. What scares you about her? If there's one thing I've learned from visual novels, women in visual novels are very, very persuasive. You can't say no. They will not accept that. I could just go and say I didn't want to practice, not right here and now. It was true I enjoyed rehearsing with Val. It's just Sunday was the day that... You get a letter from Ari. That's right. Ari's letter will arrive tomorrow. And it was most likely a letter with concerns about me finding a partner. But I wonder if me partnering up with Torta, as Ari had desired, would lead to the result that Ari had wanted? Now that we were only communicating by letter, the one thing I clearly felt was that the distance between Ari and I had become greater. I wasn't sure if it was the feeling that I wanted to turn away from, or if it was simply Torta. Alright. Before I knew it, I had spoken my answer. Really? I'm glad to hear it. Shaking off my hesitation, I decided that right now, the only thing I should be thinking about was the graduation recital. I gave Forney a quick nod, and I started to discuss our plans for tomorrow with Val. I should probably just, like... Oh, I can't save here, shit. I realize I haven't saved at any point during this route. I should probably do that, because I have a feeling we're down the right path, and I would hate to have to redo it all. It's called blushing. What? She's smiling and blushing. You've never seen anyone blush before? Is you okay starting in the afternoon? Yeah, I'm sorry we can't start in the morning. Well, we'll be able to get in plenty of practice if we keep at it until evening anyway. I don't know if I'm kidding. Even if it's practice, we can still enjoy ourselves a little since it's the weekend. That's a weight off my shoulders. So, do you mind if we meet in front of Copert? Sure. It'll be around lunchtime. Shall we grab a bite there first? Why don't we decide that tomorrow? Well, either way works for me. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. See you then. Yeah, totally not dating this girl. Definitely not a date. Absolutely not. We are committed to Ari, our long distance relationship. Definitely not cheating on her in any way. She left me with a smile that told me she was pleased and headed off into the rain. It is a blush. That's what blushing looks like in anime. After seeing her off, I started to head back to my place when Forney pulled my hair and stopped me. Hey, is he really coming over? It certainly seems like it. Torta has been early visit before, and now Fal already gets to? That's just how things worked out. Yeah, this is important. It's for school. Tell me, Forney. Tell you what? Are you bothered by Fal coming over? I'm not bothered. Not really. Why are you asking something like that? Well, I was just thinking, I don't actually live in that apartment by myself. What are you talking about? Your parents are the ones paying the rent, aren't they? I'm just, freeloading and borrowing a bit of space, so it's not like it's my place or anything, right? Not sure why you're getting all flustered, but you know it's not about who pays or whatever. I know, but... wait a minute. What are you trying to say? I'm not trying to say anything. I was just asking. Okay. Then I guess I don't mind. I see. Thanks, Forney. You don't have to thank me over something like that. Really? Okay, then. Impersonating Fal, I finished up with a cheerful tone. Yeah. Hey, don't get angry. You're the one who said it. I know I did. Anyway. Hey, that's my line. Sheesh. For the time being, we were able to wrap things up pleasantly, as if nothing had even come up. Forney wasn't angry, and I was able to avoid saying something that would hurt Fal. Alright, let's get going. Three noses. It's just their cheeks are like way higher. Like usually, like their cheeks are like up here. They don't have cheeks down here because this is all still part of the lips. This is all part of the mouth. So the cheeks have to be up here. That was that was Anime Anatomy 101. You should see a picture of their skulls. That might help you, like, picture how it's supposed to look. It makes sense if you consider their facial structure. With my belly satisfied and my body warmed up from the meal, I hurried through the rain as I didn't want to get cold. Listen, it'd be a big help if you could not tell Ari about all this. Huh? Why is he all of a sudden worried about that? We've established plenty that she is not going to be able to write for shit. Forney seemed a little surprised when I asked her this on the way home. Contrary to what I expected, Forney didn't respond angrily. She simply smiled quietly. I guess that's best. I'll keep it a secret. Standing on the street in front of Copert, I waited for Fal to arrive. Focusing my eyes on the clock that I could see inside the store, I found that I was 10 minutes early. I felt I had left a little too early, but I was always making her wait before practice, so it seemed only fair to be early. I passed the time by gazing at the droplets of rain splashing on the pavement. Recalling my sheets of music and going over them in my head, I passed the time without being so bored. Stopping the music in my head at a good point, I peeked inside Copert a number of times to check down on the clock, and when I was doing so, my eyes met with those of someone I was not expecting. Fal? She also noticed me at exactly the same time, and looked slightly surprised. Unsure of whether or not I should go inside, I stood where I was and waited. Fal soon opened the door and called out to me. You came at just the right time. Do you have a cooking pot at home? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Great. Give me just a little bit longer, okay? Wait, is she, like, taking ingredients from her work? Saying this, she left me and returned back into the trattoria. A cooking pot? Uh-oh. She's making food, too. That's a horrible sign. I looked in through the window one more time, but Fal was no longer anywhere to be seen. However, I was able to see that the hands on the clock were pointing exactly to the time we had agreed to meet. Thanks for waiting. It was just at that moment that the door burst open, and Fal rushed over to me, out of breath and stopping inches from my face. No, it's okay. You're right on time. Oh, really? I was only going to say hello. They asked me to help a little. That sounds like something that would happen to you. Yes, you're quite right. I'm so busy. Fal didn't seem particularly busy or stressed when she said that. That could be well the reason why people always ask her for help. So, was there something you had to do here? We're not eating here, right? And why did you want to know if I had a pot? Yeah, something like that. Val smiled in a way that showed she was up to something, and produced a package wrapped in brown butcher's paper. What's that? Some meat that's a little too tough to serve, and some other bits and pieces. Okay. I thought it'd make lunch for us. That's... a problem? No, not a problem at all. Good. Shall we go then? This is the right way, Chris? Yeah. More or less taking charge, Val started walking towards the 3 Street Junction where we went our separate ways the first time we met. Was Val usually like this? Thanks for letting me come over. See, I feel like that might be... I would say get ready for it. Because I could totally see that being like an actual plastic surgery that one could get in the future. I don't think there's any impossibility to it. It'd be like, God, what was that manga called? There was a manga like that. It was a manga about this, like, plastic surgeon. And he did all these weird, wacky plastic surgeries and the aftermath of the client's requests. And one of them asked literally to look like a girl that she saw in her comic book. And so she got the surgery job on her face. And everyone was scared of her after that. She got really famous, but then no one liked her anymore. And the only reason anyone even remotely liked her is just because she looked like an anime character. Well, I'm home. Wasn't sure if Forney could hear it. I spoke in a voice that was loud enough, but not overly loud. Val laughed at the sight of me announcing my return. It's just a habit of mine. Alright. Is there, like, any chance that she gets to meet her? Or is that just, like, impossible and we're stuck acting like we're a bunch of crazy people talking to ourselves? Because it'd be nice if she got to meet her. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like I think it's Frankenfran? I don't remember which chapter it was in that. But I think it was called Frankenfran. And it's like about a plastic surgeon and there's like a whole bunch of them. But one of them was the anime one. Val was still looking amused when I handed her a towel that was sitting near my front door. Pony must have prepared them. I took the second one and dried my hair. Thanks. Val did the same, and then I looked around my room with a hint of amazement on her face. Wow. What? It's clean. I was ready to do it myself, you know. Well, it is my place after all. That's too bad. Oh well. Are you hungry? Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about letting a random stranger come and clean my place. I like things in very specific places, thank you very much. And that includes the floor. Okay, the floor is a perfectly fine place to store things. You know exactly where everything is, and you can see it at all times. Yeah, more or less. Never really had a habit of eating breakfast, and considering the possibility that we may have been eating out, I'd chosen not to eat any lunch yet. In that case, can I borrow your kitchen? You're really gonna cook something? I always cook at home anyway. So don't worry, I won't burn your house down. That's not what I'm worried about. Never mind. Are your pots in the cupboard under the sink? Yeah, I think so. What about the ingredients? Didn't you see them just before? Saying this, she patted the package wrapped in butcher's paper. Upon closer inspection, I could see that there were other things in there too, and that it was actually bursting at the brim. Oh, right. I gave up on asking any more questions and decided to just observe from the sidelines. At least there was no doubting it would taste great. Admittedly, I was slightly concerned about the meat being too tough to serve, but if Val thought it would be okay, then I guess it really would be okay. I would imagine the meat's perfectly fine, just that some restaurants have like a really high standard of quality. Like, the grocery store threw out tons of perfectly fine food because apparently it wasn't fit to sell. But it's not like it was rotten or anything. Well, this is turning into a big mess. I hadn't said anything to Forney since we returned. She had been watching quietly until she spoke just now. I walked over to the windowsill, which was away from the kitchen, and spoke to Forney in a hushed voice. Apparently she's making lunch. You make it sound like it's none of your business. It was a pretty one-sided decision. I wasn't given much chance to say no. I know. It was fine and all that I decided to be on the sidelines as far as the cooking went, but it was awkward sitting around doing nothing, so I decided to clean the table. It didn't require that much effort, however, as I had cleaned up everything in sight last night and this morning. I offered to help with whatever I could, but she declined, so I ended up having nothing to do. We went urban exploring? Fuck no, I don't want to get robbed or some shit. Dude, I already live in like a semi-sketchy neighborhood. Going out is enough of a adventure. I have to walk past a bunch of drunkards every day because there's a bar literally around the corner. And tons of glass, and I'm surprised I haven't been mugged coming home at like 1 a.m. from work. Been very, very lucky with that. Courtney had moved herself to the top of my bookshelf, and we communicated through nods and head shakes. When are you gonna start practicing? She asked slightly mean questions like this, and that smells great! She sometimes commented happily like this, and after responding to this and that, I realized that almost an hour had passed. Sometimes scared? Yeah, I mean, I hear Los Angeles is pretty shitty, which is unfortunate, but like, I feel like it'd just be stupid to go and do that. Like, I'm poking my head into a place I really don't need to, and asking for trouble? Why the hell would I do that? Yeah, there was actually someone who crashed into the local 7-Eleven last week. I was like walking there to grab some drinks, and the entire like half of the front of like the glass on the front wall where the door was gone. Like, I don't know, a car or somebody just completely drove right in there. The rest of the store was already cleaned up by that time. Like, it looked like nothing happened inside, but the window was completely gone. It's ready. One freshly cooked casserula. Table. I see you cleaned it. Casserola? Is that how it's like spelt in Italian? Is that where casserole comes from, or is this some made-up word? I can't tell, because the last time I looked up words in this game, it turned out they were real, and I couldn't believe it. So I'm guessing that's just actually Italian. You can put it down anywhere. Casserola was the name of the particular pot used for cooking this dish. The meal made from the ingredients that boiled inside it was also commonly referred to by the same name. See, when we make casserole, it's usually in a baking dish and in the oven. Never thought of making it out of in a pot. They walk in a couple of sewers? Oh yeah, no, my friends and I, like, we're walking around town, like a very fine part of town. We're walking into a mall and there's like this giant sewer tunnel. We just looked in it and all of us were like, yeah, no, fuck that, we're not going in there. Even though it was like faster than going up and around into the mall, we could have just cut through, but none of us were willing to go in there because it's like, yeah, fuck that, there's probably some hobo or something inside there ready to shank us. So we took the long route because it was like super dark, couldn't see anything in there. Val took a seat at the table and I sat down across from her. It seemed that the lovely smell filling the room had also piqued Forney's interest, despite the fact she was scrunching up her face at the steam coming out of the pot. She wouldn't be eating it, but she certainly did seem interested. Okay then, let's eat. Sure thing. What's wrong? Oh no, it's just that, you know, I sometimes cook here, but I honestly wasn't ever expecting to eat anything so decent. Not in my own room. I ended up taking a while though. Perhaps in an effort to hide that she was blushing, she laughed and prompted me to eat by handing me a spoon. Okay, I'm going to dig in. Go ahead. You can just tell when they have to like try and translate itadakimasu from Japanese. Like, you can just tell the awkward English filled in of dialogue whenever they try and do anything for that phrase. Because we don't have an equivalent for that. Like, it's usually translated to thanks for the meal, but it's like, that's not technically right. But at the same time, like, what else are you gonna do? But you can just tell when they're trying to translate that shit. You got lost in a sewer, or just about did? See, I've never been, like, in an actual sewer. There's, like, no way you could access it, because I've never seen an outside entrance. I'm sure there's one somewhere in the city. Like, logic would dictate it has to exist. But, yeah, most sewers here are underground. Like, the only way in is through, like, a manhole cover or something, and you don't just go around pulling up manhole covers to go into a sewer. That's not a thing you do. Yeah, I'm not gonna carry around a knife. That would get me in trouble. I don't even have a knife to carry around. I'd eaten food that she had made by herself on numerous occasions. But this is delicious. It tastes even better than I expected. Really? There's no need to say anything else. It sounded easy to make, just boiling the pork and other vegetables together. Well, I suppose the act of making it itself was easy, but... It must be great being you right now, Chris. Is she fucking jealous? Well, then why don't you eat too? You don't have to eat, but surely you can eat. I would have liked to give some to Forney if possible, but there was nothing for it since she couldn't eat. Oh, she just physically can't eat. It almost seems like she's disappointed in that fact, like it's a curse of some sort. But I really did feel sorry for her, so I glanced at her and sent her an apology with my eyes and continued eating. What do I think of ARGs? ARGs are sick. I don't know if I'd ever have the commitment to, like, participate in one actively, but I love reading about them once they're done. And, like, all the things that, like, they would have to do in the story and everything related to them. I mean, they've been kind of dead the last couple of years for obvious reasons, but I can't wait until they start coming back again. Like, there's online ARGs sometimes, and they're pretty neat, but I like the ones that like bleed over into actually going somewhere in real life and having to do something. There's an uncovered manhole? Yikes. I was like, I wonder how much money is down there? Wait, you found $25? Damn, is that like common? People dropping money? Like, I'm sure coins and stuff probably accidentally fall into manholes. But $25? Jeez. I feel like, isn't that already been done? I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen something like that before. Someone being dead on YouTube. Yeah, no, I have. Kind of recently too. Someone covered it. One of like the ARG coverage channels. Like Nexpo and all those guys. They did a video. One of them did a video on it. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it sounded like it had a very similar premise to like a dead YouTuber kind of thing. There's a lot left, so feel free to have more. Thanks. I don't mind if there are leftovers, though. Oh, okay, good. With the exception of one grumpy fairy, the meal is quite enjoyable. With nothing to do and not being able to talk with me properly, Forney asked me to place her on the windowsill. I made an excuse for going over there and moved Forney. We tidied up after the meal, and then the two of us sat back down at the table and take a break. I wonder, like, how this would turn out if he was just up front with her, like as soon as she came over and was like, hey, there's a fairy that lives here, you can't see her, but she definitely exists. And then just left it at that. Like, would she just leave? Would she think I'm weird? Would she just accept it? Because apparently magic's real in this world, so maybe? Thanks for making lunch. You're welcome. Val rested her chin on her hands and continued looking at me with a smile on her face. So, yeah, thanks again. Huh? Oh, I wasn't waiting for you to thank me more or anything like that. Staying seated in the exact same position, Val started to talk about something completely different. You wonder why I was working so much at a time like this, with graduation recitals getting so close? Truth be told, I had thought about that question many times, and I also had my own suspicions as to the answer. It wasn't as if there was that many possible reasons why anyway. Of course, that doesn't mean that the reason couldn't be something totally unexpected and out of this world. Well, I suppose you have probably worked it out for yourself. You never know? To put it simply, I need the money to get by. Okay. The problem was, why did she need to work just to get by when she was a student? What's the matter? It's nothing. Not such a big deal. There's plenty of other students who are working as well, you know. That's true. I've heard of that kind of thing before. I was sure this would come up in conversation with Torta or Sino. And I only work 4 days a week. It's not that much, right? That's hard for me to say. I don't work a single day. Part of it is because I like working too. And besides, even though as of yesterday my hours are shorter, I'm still going to get the same pay as before. Don't you think that's amazing? Of course. I'll even put in more effort to make up for it. As if it were nothing. Val spoke of it as if it wasn't significant at all. She didn't go into detail about why she had to work, and I didn't mind. I was afraid of getting more deeply involved, and there were some things I couldn't be changed no matter what one did. I see, but why did you decide to tell me? Because you wanted to know, I guess. And also because we haven't been able to practice much at all on weekdays. But having said that, I suppose you're not exactly practicing every single day. I didn't know that had been bothering her. I wonder how long I'd been practicing so half-heartedly while she had been so dedicated. You've got a point there. Matching her tone, I responded in a joking manner. And then I remembered what she had said first. Because you wanted to know. I wonder if I really had thought that I wanted to know more deeply. Or was it just curiosity? Or could it have been... Sorry for bringing this kind of thing up. Well, we had a break now, so shall we get some practice in? We probably should. I stood up with some vigor in order to brighten the mood, and walked over to my fortel. Chris! Borny, who was supposed to be lazing about on the windowsill, was now looking at me with a serious look on her face. I approached the windowsill as if checking the weather outside, and waited for her to speak. Practice seriously, okay? I nodded sincerely, and then sat down on my fortel. We don't... Okay, I was gonna say, I don't think we play this, do we? Wait, what? Around whose head? I'm sorry, did you find a fucking dead body in the sewer? Is that what you're implying? I see where you got your dead YouTuber idea from. After I saw fell off, I collected my weekly letter from Marie and returned to my apartment. Once again, I could smell the aroma of the casserole still lingering in my apartment. I had no issue with eating the same thing multiple times in one day, so I decided to have the casserole for dinner. As our lunch today was slightly late, I wasn't exactly hungry yet. I decided to read the letter from Marie first, and sat myself down at my desk. Is this letter any different? Dear Chris, I wonder, is it still raining there as you read this letter? The weather here is lovely, as usual. Is it about time for you to choose your partner for your graduation recital? In your last letter, you mentioned that it might not be Torta, but do you have anyone else? I guess I'm a little worried, because I know you're not so good at making new friends. I think I wrote the exact same thing when you first enrolled, but you ended up making great friends like Asino, didn't you? So, I guess I'm not so worried about whether or not you can make friends. It's something else that I'm worried about. Where I am is so far away from where you are now, so I can only know the things that Torta tells me, right? That's why I've started to feel a little concerned. Uh-oh. Where is this going? I heard that one of your possible partners is a girl. Uh-oh! Where's this going? And that she's pretty, and a lovely person. I mean, we all saw it coming. We knew this was inevitable. I know that in terms of percentages, it's 50-50, so I'm not trying to blame you because it's a girl. You know what? Not necessarily wrong. It's like... There's only two possibilities here. It was gonna happen or it wasn't gonna happen. But you know, I just can't help but be concerned. I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but you'll forgive me, won't you? There's one more thing. I have unfortunate news. I'm not sure I'll be able to visit you this year. Uh-oh. Just like it has been 3 years since you started your student life, it's also been 3 years since I started working here. I put a lot of time and effort into my work, and I also happen to like doing it, so I'm happy to report that I've recently been given more responsibilities, including the training of new staff. Okay, good. This works out. That means we could get away with cheating on her, and she'll never have to know. Unless Torta tells her. Maybe that's why Torta also writes letters, that way we can't get away with lying. It's quite possible, really. I'm sure we can come up with a good enough explanation when we graduate and move back. I'm going to be particularly busy at the end of the year, so it doesn't seem like I'll be able to get away. It's such a shame I won't be able to see you. But you seem busy with the practice for your graduation recital, Chris, so I'll be patient this time. But thinking about that now, I won't have to be patient for much longer, will I? I really can't wait for that day to come. Take care. I'll write again soon. P.S. Regardless of who you choose as your partner, just make sure to tell Torta first, okay? She's always worried about you and how you're doing, you know? I asked her to look out for you since I can't be there to do it myself. Love, Arietta. God damn, if this ends up being where we like fucking break up with her over letters. I need slightly more time than usual to rouse myself from the feeling Ari's letter had left me with. I hadn't decided on who my partner would be. Not yet. That was the unclouded truth. But if my heart had already started pointing towards what laid in the future, then I suppose I had already made a choice. Chris? Hmm? What did Ari say? Just the same as usual. I traced the surface of the carefully folded letter and whispered the words once more. Same as usual. For some reason I was unable to start writing my response immediately, and I just sat at my desk. Supposing I followed the excuse I had been telling my heart, I chose not to partner up with Torta. Would that result not end up being a betrayal of both Ari and Torta? The pleasant smell of the casserole clashed with the vague feeling of concern that I had, so I stood up to open the window. Chris! Horny was standing on top of my music stand, beckoning me with her hand. Let's play something. Yeah. Inside the waves of sound, I was not bound by anything. I felt the pleasant sound of her voice on my skin, and I let myself be taken over by the sensation of the waves gently rocking me to my core. I wasn't sure how many songs we played in succession, but we clearly played more songs than we normally did, as it had already reached the time of night when we would usually be asleep. Not spending a moment to enjoy the afterglow of our songs, I rushed to the window to check outside. Still raining. It was dark, and I realized I had become quite late. I quickly prepared to write my letter back to Ari. Oh my, it's gotten pretty late, hasn't it? Sure has. Better get writing. Otherwise, you won't have it ready by tomorrow morning, huh? Horny moved her face closer to get a look at what I was writing, which was unusual for her. Didn't I tell you a long time ago not to look? Oh, come on! I want to see! I'm not going to write anything particularly special. Are you going to write about which partner you'll choose? She asked you, right? I'm not going to write that I haven't made a decision yet. I'm going to write that I haven't made a decision yet. You haven't? That's what I just said. Okay. Horny nodded as if she understood, and didn't seem fazed by my tone of voice, which had become slightly irritated. And then, not being too trivial or too serious, she said something else to me. You'll need to make a decision soon, though. Upon saying this, she fluttered her wings just once and disappeared. 2 weeks had already passed since I started looking for a partner. I hadn't made a decision yet, but you could say that things were starting to fall in place. Lately I'd been practicing with Fal the whole time, and it seemed natural to do so. We'd probably end up being partners, but there was one thing on my mind. Arietta came off sounding resilient in her letters, and it was in her nature to keep her concerns to herself like that. But deep down, she was definitely worried. That's why I kept putting things off. Never thought of actively looking for a partner until now. But the time had come when I had to make a decision. What should I do today? Val had work today, so I should probably ask Torta or Lise to practice, but... Wait, Lise? Who's Lise? Wait, was that someone we met before? I'm trying to remember if that was like in one of the scenes I skipped over this time. No, that was the girl from the... That was the girl that ran away from the old ward. Why? Wait, how? What? How do we have access to her all of a sudden? That seems like a continuity error. Just couldn't. Torta and I were too close. And Lise, I don't know what to do about that. First time I saw her singing, I felt kind of a sympathy. But I didn't dare get close to her. Okay, never mind. It's kind of explained. Her resemblance to Ari may be the reason, but I couldn't say that with absolute certainty. I couldn't pair up with her without practicing first. And she was still a first-year student, so she had no reason to. As I looked sideways at Torta, relishing her sandwich next to me, those were the thoughts in my mind. I practice for a while and then go home. While watching Torta eat her sandwich beside me, I was lost in thought as to what I should do next. But then again, I don't have many choices left. Either I asked Fal, or I didn't. That was about it. Was it okay for me to continue practicing with Fowl, I wonder? The time was coming when I'd have to decide, even amid my confusion. Well, I mean, the choice is obvious here. We're not going to back out now. We're not going to chicken out. At this point, really no reason to. Once again, I headed to where Fowl would be waiting. Before I knew it, I was on my way to the practice room. It was just fun performing with Fowl. That wasn't the only feeling that was motivating me, however. I knew just how dedicated she was to her music, and I had also started to learn about the secret which lay behind that dedication. Alright, have a good night, Jack. Thanks for coming by today. Oh, you have another final? Damn. I guess that makes sense. Finals are usually pretty, they're pretty rough. I think last time I had finals in school, it was like a whole weeks of tests all day. Fortunately, I didn't have to do anything else. It was just tests. Oh yeah, that would be probably best not to have dreams like that. You know, I actually had a dream recently myself where it was really weird. I watched my mom stab someone, which is really strange because like she would never do that. Yeah, good luck with your test. Good luck with not dreaming about murdering people or getting murdered. Yeah, that's like what happened to me when I had that dream. It was like a week ago. I don't know what it was. She just like stabbed someone out of nowhere. It was strange. Honestly, it's probably the weirdest dream I remember having. Chris! Val spoke without turning to look at me. And then she slowly turned to face me. Shall we start rehearsing straight off? Or would you like to warm up a little first? Oh, do we get to play again? Oh boy. Can I save here? Oh, thank God. I will put it here. Not that I remember what any of these mean, but, you know. The score sitting in front of her was already open to the page that I had been having trouble with. Let's just rehearse. We didn't rehearse long, nor did we rehearse that many times. Oh, thank God I don't have to play. Ruin it now with my shitty playing. But we were able to make the most of our limited time, and we practiced intently, so we didn't need to exchange many more words than this. But that may have been only in regard to music. Oh, we do play! Oh, fuck. I'm gonna be so glad when I'm done with her. Fuck. Watch, like, the girl in the old ward even harder than this. I wonder if there's, like, difficulty ratings for the songs in this game. There is a free play mode, so maybe it would list them there. Okay, fine. Bullshit my way through that section. With tons to spare. Okay, I think I found like the perfect rhythm for that section. That's good because I'm probably going to need it in the finale. Good job. Yeah, that was nice. See it at my foretell, I stretched my arms out and loosened the tension on my shoulders. That was how long we had both refused to stop practicing. That might have been perfect. Stretching out her body in the same way as I did, Val commented casually. You think so? Val always complimented what deserved complimenting and pointed out what wasn't good enough. But today, she didn't say any more than that. We still have some time left. Shall we keep going, or...? Either way is fine with me. You're truly fine either way, huh? In that case... Yeah. I'm kidding. It's a little early, but let's go home. I really did mean that I was fine with either option, you know? But too late now. Let's clean up and head home. Alright. Together. No. Probably not. Checked the clock hanging on the wall on my way out of the building, and noticed it was over an hour and a half earlier than the usual time I would have finished up. I guess these kinds of practice days might be nice for a change. As long as we'll really only do this as a nice change, otherwise we'll get sloppy. Well, you're the one who suggested it. This is just right for me. I have a feeling that if I left you in charge, we'd be going home at this time every day. You're so mean. The rain had become considerably lighter today. There's never a day that it doesn't rain in this town, but considering that, the rain today was especially light. So light, in fact, that I could only feel it tinkling on my skin when I concentrated on it. Now, if only the clouds had disappeared somewhere, it would have been a beautiful day. For just an instant, I recalled the nostalgic color of the sky where Eri lived. Is the rain somehow tied to... me? And my relationship? Because that just raises more questions. This seems like too much of a coincidence. Huh? I glanced at Val, who had turned around and was looking like she was waiting for someone to come. Asino! Did you just say Asino? The figure she was looking at came within sight, and it was indeed the person that she had thought it was. Hey, Chris. Hey, wait, Asino, don't try and tell me you've been practicing all day until now. What? Is that a way to speak to a friend? Asino, who had come to a halt in front of me, stumbled a few steps forward after being hit by something. Oh, I'm sorry for suddenly stopping like that. It's okay. Good afternoon. Hello, Val. Hey, Val. Does everyone know each other? Running into different groups of friends in the one place was surprising. Or should I say... No, it was just really surprising. Yes, she and I are both in the vocal course after all. I see. So that means, Asino, you really were practicing today, weren't you? Stop saying it's like it's such a rare thing. You make it hard for me to complain. Alright, so you know Val as well? Well, it's more like... there probably isn't anyone who doesn't know her. She used to be the class president. There was one guy who didn't know my name, though. Chuckling to herself, Val looked right at me. Oh, really? I'd love to see that guy's face. Here you go. While saying so, Val turned to Asino's head to face me. Wait. Seriously? It's not what you think. I haven't said anything yet. Besides, it's totally what I think it is. Sorry? Oh, my bad. I got distracted by my weird friend here. Hey, I don't think I said anything weird. I see. Right. I was going to walk you home, huh? Sorry, I'm gonna head home with him. Damn, ditching... Kirk is... Wow. For me? That doesn't seem like him, number one. Number two, that seems almost insulting to the girl. The moment he said that, the girl made a stressed face and looked at me. He promised to walk her home, but also makes him look like an asshole. But that's the least of our concern here. Hey. Asino. Yeah. Asino responded to Val's polite tone of voice almost as if it were Miss Cordell addressing him. You made a promise, so you shouldn't say such things. Oh, no, it's okay. I didn't mean... Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll walk you. suddenly changing his previously indifferent attitude. He turned to face her and spoke in a gentle tone. Where do you live again? In the new district. Got it. Shall we go then? Sure. I guess Asino found a partner. Well then, Chris, Fel, I'll see you around. Sure, take care. See you. I was slightly impressed that Asino had been practicing more than I had expected him to. Judging by that girl's attitude just now, I suppose today was their first time to practice, so perhaps he'd just been repeating this kind of thing. He was quite popular, so he was probably taking a laid-back approach to all of this. He can really push it sometimes. Having said that, you don't seem too angry though. That's because he's always like this. I only just realized that Fel had stopped speaking in her polite tone, and returned to her usual speaking style. You two are good friends, aren't you? I guess so, but I have to say, I'm impressed that you made him obey you like that. What do you mean? All I did was say you shouldn't act in such a way, you know? I'd say that includes Miss Cordell, but I think Asino can't say no to people who use that tone. Oh, I see. Val smiled happily and started to walk again. So, I guess this is where we say bye? I suppose so. But before that, can I ask you one thing? How do you plan to spend Natalie? I was stuck for words. Had no plans. And I knew that Ari wasn't going to come visit. But what of it? Ari and I were a couple, but that had nothing to do with whether we were going to spend Natalie together or not. I don't think that's quite right, but okay. If I answered that I had no plans, Fel might have invited me to do something. Would it have been better for me to say that I had plans so that I wouldn't have to say no to her? But it was also possible that I just was being overly self-conscious, and that she was just asking me out of plain interest. Is something wrong? It's nothing. I was just thinking that I would like to get some practice in during Natalie. Huh? You want to practice? Weren't you taught that if you don't use your instrument for a day, you'll lose 3 days of progress? I think I was taught that, yeah. Were you planning to go out and have fun the whole time? No, of course not. Ah, but you already have plans. Not particularly. So, what will it be? Oh crap, it was too late to even regret it now. I spoke the words, and again she asked a question I couldn't get out of answering. I'm sorry, forget about it. Really? No, don't actually forget about it. Just wait a moment. If you want me to wait, I'll wait, but... Val's cheeks had turned red and she had to take a few deep breaths to calm down before she started speaking again. I guess it's hard to respond to a sudden invitation like this, right? You might have plans. And even if you don't, you might have some in the future. I had told her that I didn't have any plans, and I doubted I would make any. And I guess it must be a burden for you to practice so much if we haven't decided to be partners, right? And I doubted that person practicing with her would be a burden of any kind. But before I could respond by saying so, she had finished saying what she wanted to say. So, I was thinking that if you were thinking of choosing me as your partner for the graduation recital, we should, because, you know, it's almost that time now. If you're thinking of choosing me, could you come to the practice room on Friday? And if you do, perhaps we can practice on Natalie too. On Friday? I usually have to work on Fridays, but I get the day off just for this week. Why is that? Because that's the time limit for third-year vocal course students. Didn't you know? I did, but for third-year vocal course students, they needed to register the graduation recital on the first day of school, which is on the 3rd of January. Once the 3rd of January had passed, they would be automatically incorporated into the graduation recital program for vocal course students. But in actuality, it wasn't as if vocal students could afford not to practice for the 10 or so days between the end of the school year and the beginning of the next one, so the last day of school, which was the 23rd of December, was considered the typical time limit. So that's why you changed your shift? Yes. I have to work on Thursday instead, however. Ah, that had made it slightly harder to say no. This meant that she would be going to the practice room not for our usual practice, but just to wait for me. Oh, but if you're going to partner up with someone else, you don't have to come and practice with me. I know it's hard for you to say no sometimes, so it might just be easier if you didn't come. Sorry for bringing all this stuff up. But, do you agree? Yeah. Thanks. Okay, see you soon. Val then ran off at a speed that made her shoes echo, and was soon gone from sight. How does it echo in the rain. I guess if it's raining lightly, then the rain wouldn't drown out the echo, maybe. The tone itself had been calm, but from the slightly strange way she spoke, I could tell she wasn't her usual self. I stood there in the rain for a few moments, stunned. 3 days. I hadn't decided what I would do yet, but the day when I would have to make a decision was now definitely going to come. What time is it? You know what, that's a perfect place to stop there. We'll play some Osu tonight, because I've been neglecting that as well. We'll make our decision next time. Let's save it here. Perfect. I thought I'd be able to finish up this route, but it's a little, I guess it's a little longer than I thought it'd be because of all the new scenes and stuff. Okay, let me also save this notepad because it could be useful. I don't know. In case I like make a mistake somewhere, then I can follow it. Let me put it, where should I put this? I guess I'll put it here. There we go. Alright, let me get the game set up here and play for a little bit. I was going to stop like an hour ago, but there wasn't really a good stopping point because we just started getting into the new stuff, so I felt it would be weird. So I think that's a good place to stop though. I'll switch to Osu for a little bit here.